All right, got a big cloud computing exam coming up? You've come to the right place. Think of this as your secret weapon, your cheat sheet for absolutely nailing those questions about the core cloud service models. So let's get right into it. Okay, you know this question. It's the classic. I bet you've seen it on every practice test. Well, by the time we're done here, you're not just going to answer it, you're going to own it. So let's break it down piece by piece, starting from the very beginning. So, first things first, what is cloud computing, really? At its heart, it's just getting all your computing stuff, servers, storage, even software, delivered to you over the internet. Instead of having a big server humming away in your office, you're basically renting it. The whole point is flexibility and that sweet, sweet pay-as-you-go model. Now, let's look at the three big flavors this comes in. Okay, let's kick things off with the absolute foundation of the cloud. It's called IaaS, which stands for Infrastructure as a Service. And to really get this to stick in your head for the exam, we're going to use an analogy. Think of IaaS as renting a plot of land. So picture this. The cloud provider gives you this plot of land. That's your raw servers, your storage, your networking. And hey, all the utilities are already connected. You've got power, you've got an internet connection. But, and this is the crucial part, the land is empty. You have to build the house. You're responsible for whatever you build on that land. Now, this slide right here, this is where the money is. Look at that column on the left, you manage. That's a lot of stuff, right? The operating system, all your apps, your data, you're in charge of all of it. The vendor, they're just giving you the fundamental building blocks. So what's the big takeaway? With IaaS, you get the absolute most control. Remember that. All right, exam tip time. These words on the screen, these are your key words. You have to get them in your answer. When you're writing about IaaS, you need to be talking about virtual machines, raw computing, and storage. And who's the target audience? It's the IT administrators, the folks who need that fine-grained control. Drop these words and the examiner will know you get it. And for that perfect example, look no further than Amazon Web Services EC2. That stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, by the way. It is the absolute textbook definition of IaaS. You're literally just renting virtual servers. Dropping a specific name like AWS EC2 in your answer, that's how you show you've done your homework. Okay, so we've laid our foundation with IaaS. Let's move up one level in the cloud stack to PaaS, Platform as a Service. Now, if IaaS was renting an empty plot of land, PaaS is completely different. Think of it more like renting a fully furnished apartment. Yeah, this analogy really works. The landlord, that's your cloud provider, they've done all the hard work. The apartment's built, the utilities are on, there's even furniture in there. All you have to do is show up with your suitcases, which in this world is your application code and your data, and you can start working right away. No construction needed. And here we see that shift in responsibility again, and it's a big one. Just look at the vendor manages column now compared to what we saw with IaaS. It's way longer. The vendor is handling the operating system, the runtime, all that complicated middleware. Your job just got a whole lot simpler. All you need to worry about is your own application and your data. That's it. All right, let's talk keywords for PaaS. To get top marks, you've got to use these. Who's the user? It's the developer. What do they get? A platform. What do they do with it? Application deployment. And what don't they have to worry about? The underlying runtime environment. Weaving these terms into your answer shows you really understand the distinction. And your go-to example for PaaS? Google App Engine. It's perfect. Developers literally just upload their code, and Google's platform takes care of all the rest. Running it, scaling it up if it gets popular. All of that happens automatically. Okay, we've reached the top of the pyramid, the one you probably use every single day without even thinking about it. This is SaaS, or Software as a Service. And the analogy here? It's the easiest one yet. You're staying in a hotel. Think about it. When you're at a hotel, do you worry about who's cleaning the room or fixing a leaky faucet? Of course not. You just show up, get your key, and use the service. SaaS is exactly like that. You're just using a complete, finished piece of software that's delivered to you over the internet. And would you look at that? The You Manage column is practically empty. With SaaS, the vendor handles, well, everything. The app itself, the platform it runs on, the servers it sits on, all of it. The only thing you're responsible for is using the app and putting your own information into it. It doesn't get any easier than this. Last set of keywords, and these are crucial for describing SaaS. You want to mention that it's usually a subscription model. You access it through a web browser, and who uses it? End users. That's you and me. The key idea is that it's fully functional software with no installation required. Hit those points and you're golden. And the example for this one is a total slam dunk, because you've definitely used it. Think Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace. You don't really install Google Docs on your computer, do you? Nope. You just open your web browser and start typing. Google handles all the updates, all the servers, all the messy stuff behind the scenes. That, right there, is the classic SaaS experience.
All right, so we've walked through all three models, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Now, let's bring it all home. Let's create the ultimate cheat sheet, the one-stop shop to answer that big exam question.
Okay, people, screenshot this, burn it into your brain. This slide is pure gold. If you've only got 30 seconds before walking into the exam, this is what you look at. It's got it all: the model, our handy analogy, who uses it, and a killer example. IaaS is land for IT admins, PaaS is the furnished apartment for developers, and SaaS is the hotel for everyday end users. You memorize this simple table, and I'm telling you, those 8 marks are yours. Here's another great way to think about it, just to lock it in. It's all about the shift in what you're focused on. It's a spectrum, really. You go from IaaS, which is all about control over the raw infrastructure, to PaaS, where you're focused on your application, all the way to SaaS, where your only focus is just using the software. Control versus convenience. That's the key. So I'll leave you with this one last thought to make it all stick forever. Just think about what you use every single day. That email you just checked? Gmail, that's SaaS. The show you binged last night? Netflix, SaaS. That CRM you use at work? Salesforce, also SaaS. See? You're an end user of SaaS all the time. Once you connect these concepts to your real life, you'll never get them mixed up again. All right, you've got this. Now go and ace that exam.